Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, Mr. Githinji. Thank you for joining us. Today is going to be our final session for the launch program of Better Side Leadership Institute, and this will be our second year of trying to host transformational youth leadership workshop. So for today, we do not have most of our backend guys available due to being weekend and other unforeseen circumstances. So we'll just dive in straight to the program. And unfortunately, this StreamYard is not showing comments. When there is comment or any question, we'll pick it directly from the YouTube channel and paste it in the private chat. So thank you very much, Mr. Mburu. I will add you to the stage right now, and you will have the floor. And Mr. Githinji, you are live right now.
Thanks, big chief. It's a pleasure to be here. I don't know, from my end, I'm not able to see how many people are in. Would have really loved to see them and just be able to interact with them and call them out by names. So I don't know whether that's something you can be able to facilitate from your end. But if not, then it's fine. We can just continue. Hello? I hope people can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Like I mentioned, they won't be able to like stream from this backend like ours, and it's not fully integrated. So they would be watching it via YouTube while we are here via StreamYard. So if there is any comments, I will bring you to the backend stage for you to see.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
How many people are logged in currently? Big Chief.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, my mic was muted. Yeah, they are getting in as soon as possible. I'm trying to get everyone on board. I think we should get started. They will join us as we progress, and others will as well get the replay. The replay will be available publicly.
Okay, it's fine. We can just continue.
Thank you very much, sir.
So I think for me, the topic that you gave me was about leadership and how visionary leadership, um, you know, tends to sort of like think, decide, and act. And that was a heavy subject or topic, but I took it, with a warm heart, and I was very excited to be able to come and present to you guys and to your audience and people in Nigeria and Kenya as well. I'm hoping the rest of Africa is also listening. I hope they are tuned in, because I believe that this leadership conversation is a conversation not just for, just two countries, Kenya, Nigeria, but the rest of Africa and the African youth, in particular, because yes, we are the future, and the majority of the population in Africa, we all know, is the youth, the young people. Other countries, if you look at Japan, if you look at Germany, Europe, if you look at even the Americas, their population is sort of like aging, and they are really struggling to try and mop up that youthful generation. But for us, Africa, we are really blessed with that Africa, with that that youthful population, and I think it's something that we need to really tap into and take advantage of, and to make sure that we are able to grow leaders out of these young people that we are currently raising, because again, they are the future of this great continent of ours. So when it comes to leadership, I had planned to speak on three things. So the first one is on vision, the second one is on trust, and the third is on action. So vision, trust, and action. Those are the three topics rather subtopics under the leadership topic that I have that I will try and tackle today. And I hope that through that, and at the end of it all, you'll be able to at least grab something or get something. And yeah, we will be able to change this continent for the better. So, to everyone who is joining in right now, welcome. And I hope the next 30, possibly 45 minutes will be value adding to you. So, the best definition of leadership I've ever come across was by a guy called Stephen M.R. Covey. And his definition of leadership was: leadership is getting results in a way that inspires trust. So, leadership is getting results in a way that inspires trust. I actually got that definition from his book, and the book is titled The Speed of Trust. So he says leadership is getting results in a way that inspires trust. So if you look at that definition of leadership right there, it has two aspects to it. So the first one is getting results, which is very, very key. Getting results, and then the last part is in a way that inspires trust. And I think that will form part of what we'll talk about when it comes to leadership. Because when you're leading people, what will actually make people gravitate towards you is, one, your delivery. And I think this is a problem that we have had as a continent for many years, many decades, that we have leaders, yes, during the campaign period, they'll come and promise us things. They'll have very flowery promises. They'll promise us the moon. But then, yes, and we elect them based on those promises. But then immediately they get into power, immediately they get into office, they tend to not deliver on the promises that they had given us during the campaign period. So they do not give us the results that they promised, which in a sense is them um failing on that first part of that definition, getting the results. Because yes, you say what you're saying, you say this is what you'll do, you've given us, you've made us these beautiful commitments, but then you do not fulfill those commitments. So you've failed on the first part, which is getting results. And if you've not gotten the results, there's no way that you'll be able to fulfill the second part of that definition in a way that inspires trust, because already we have broken trust with you. We do not trust that even the next time when you come to tell us that you'll do something for us, we do not trust that you will do that. So when it comes to leadership, you have to walk the talk. Not just talk the walk, but you have to walk the talk. You have to make sure that whatever it is that you say, commitments that you make to people, you will actually deliver those commitments. And I think when it comes to commitment, it has to begin with you as a person, because you cannot deliver results out there to people if you're not able to deliver results at home and within yourself. So the commitments that you make to yourself, those really do matter, and those are truly, truly important. So if I and this one, I usually tell people, the smallest of commitments is how you start. If, let's say, tomorrow I say I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m., so I set my alarm and I go to bed. And then tomorrow, 5 a.m., my alarm goes off. And first thing I do is snooze, hit the snooze button. So I snooze it for 15 minutes. 5:15, it goes off again. I snooze it for another 15 minutes. 5:30, snooze it for another 15 minutes, another 15 minutes. So I get out of bed at 6 a.m. instead of 5 a.m., which I had promised myself. Now, as tiny as that commitment may seem, and you not keeping that commitment, as tiny as it may seem, it sort of like snowballs into your day, because at the back of your mind, you're already programming yourself that you are the kind of person that does not follow up on their commitments. So you make commitments to yourself, but you do not keep them, as tiny as they may seem. You make a commitment to, let's say, go out for a walk or go out for a run, and then you do not keep that commitment to yourself. Yes, it's to yourself. No one is going to come and beat you for not keeping that commitment. But at the end of the day, it is chipping away at your ability to lead, at your ability to make and keep even bigger commitments, not just to yourself, but to people out there, to other people out there. And I think that's the problem that we are facing even right now with even leadership, because people are so used to not making this, but keeping these small commitments to themselves. So it has become part of their lives. So even when they go out there, they find it really hard to, first of all, make commitments. And then, secondly, and most importantly, to keep those commitments to other people out there. And like we've seen, leadership is getting results in a way that inspires trust. So if you're not able to make and keep these commitments, if you're not able to deliver on these commitments that you've promised people, then you have failed on the first aspect of leadership, which is delivering the results and getting the job done. And at the end of the day, that affects your trust with other people, it affects your relationship with other people. So, getting results in a way that inspires trust, the best definition of leadership that I've ever had. And I think that is the definition that I go with up until now. And I really, really hope that you can sort of like try and adopt it for yourself as well. It's again definition that I got from reading the books, The Speed of Trust by Stephen M.R. Covey. It's a book you can when you find time, go grab it and read it, and you'll definitely love it. So one aspect of leadership that I said I want to talk about was vision. And vision, I'll sort of like, so vision, most leaders, and I think this thing, you've had it before. You've heard that, Mahatma Gandhi was a visionary leader, Steve Jobs, Nelson Mandela, most of our freedom fighters, they were visionary leaders. They were able to envision a future that had not yet come, but they were able to envision it and sell it to their followers, to people around them, and people were able to buy into that vision. So it's just being able to see the future 5, 10, 50, 100 years from now, and bringing that future to the present and delivering it to your audience or to the people that are following you in a way that enables them to also partake in that vision, to be able to see what it is that you can see. And leaders actually are able to do that. They're able to see that future that nobody else can see, and then they're able to bring it down, sort of like dumb it down for us common folk, and tell us, this is where I see us going 10, 20, 30 years from now, and these are the steps that I think we should take. So will you join me? Will you be part of this journey? It may be a very difficult journey, but at the end of it all, it will be a worthwhile journey for us to take. So please board the bus and let us take this journey together. So leaders are able to do that. They're able to clearly articulate their vision in a way that inspires other people to also join in. People like Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream. He had a vision that one day people will be free in America, regardless of your color, regardless of the color of your skin, black, white, tall, Hispanic, whichever. He had that vision. And here's the thing with most visionaries. They will envision something that is way into the future. And at the back of their minds, they know that they may not be able to live to see that vision come come true. But that never stops them from still pursuing that vision, because they are doing it not for themselves, but for even future generations. Because at the end of the day, the vision has to be bigger than you. It has to be something that people will be willing to join in. And even when you die, even when you're not part of that journey anymore, they will be able to carry forth that torch and pass it on to the next generation. So the vision still lives on. People will still be joining in and trying to fulfill that vision, make it a reality. Yet the vision bearer is still not there. But because the vision was so strong, it was very clear, everyone was able to just board and join the movement and take it to the next level. So for your vision, first of all, you have to have clarity of purpose. You have to be absolutely clear on what it is that you want to achieve. It has to be super, super, super clear in your mind what you want to achieve. And the reason I'm saying this is because for you to be able to communicate, or for you to be able to sell this vision to your followers or to people around you, it has to be something that is deep within you, something that just comes out of you. It just oozes out of you, and you're able to articulate it clearly so that people can hear it and they can buy into that vision. So it and again, the clarity of purpose helps you when it comes to communicating that vision. And again, here I'm in as much as I don't want to go into communication, but communication also matters. You have to be able to communicate it to people, and you may not necessarily be the one to communicate it. You can even have someone else who is able to communicate your vision on your behalf, but just make sure that your vision is able to get to people out there for them to buy into that vision. But communication is really key. And I think that's why I really do insist on being able to communicate clearly. Nowadays, there are so many courses that you can take. You can even, I think, free courses on YouTube, on so many courses that you can take to sort of like improve your communication skills, not just written, oral, verbal, whatever, just to be able to, for you not to struggle when it comes to articulating your vision. But again, you can have people around you who are able to communicate that vision. You can have it in your mind, you can, you know and I think a good example would be in the Bible, where Moses was not a very good speaker, but he was able to get a helper who was able to communicate his vision on his behalf. But he was the vision bearer, but he had helpers who already bought into his vision, and they were able to communicate that vision on his behalf. And back to that point, where you as the vision bearer, you may not be able to see the promised land, like Moses did not manage to get into the promised land, but he was able to see to it that the Israelites got into the promised land. And I think that is also where the aspect of selflessness comes in. And I think it's something that we lack, especially as Africans, because we just think we have this myopic kind of view when it comes to vision. We just think of ourselves and our lifetimes. So it's like me and my situation right now. What can I do to get as much money as I can right now? What can I do to get as comfortable as I can right now? What can I do for just this moment that I'm alive right now? I really don't care about the future generation, the kids, the grandkids, the people who will follow us 50, 100 years from now. We're just thinking of ourselves right now. And I think that is part of the problem that is ailing our leadership. They do not think beyond their terms in office. Someone will get there for 10 years, amass as much wealth as they can, as they are able to illegally, but they do not think about the future generation. They do not think of building a road here that will serve the population for the next 50 years. They just think of looting the public funds meant for that road and having that money for their families. And then your village, your neighborhood is suffering, but you and your family are living comfortably. And 50, 100 years from now, the country is still languishing in poverty. And I think that selflessness also has to play when it comes to that vision and you being able to lead. You have to be selfless enough to know that it's bigger than you and it's not all about you. So again, think long term, not just today. not just tomorrow, not just next year. It has to be a wholesome view, not a myopic kind of view. So again, I think the second point would be on trust. And for trust, I think one of the quickest ways that you can build trust, because trust is a very key component when it comes to leadership. Again, going back to the definition that I gave of leadership, which is getting results in a way that inspires trust. Trust is a key component in leadership. For people to follow you, they have to trust you, they have to believe in you, they have to believe in your message and in the cause that you're fighting for, in the movement that you asking them to join in. They have to trust you and who you are. And for them to trust you, you have to be a person of character, you have to be a person of integrity. What it is that you say you do, it has to be it. Whether people are looking, whether people are not looking, whether you're behind closed doors, whether you're on a podium, you have to be the same person. There has to be congruence when it comes to your character. And that is the only way that people will actually be able to buy into your vision and follow you up until the ends of the earth. So having that integrity, again, something that we, or rather, let's say our leaders, or let's just say us as Africans, we sort of like tend to lack integrity. So we will lead for our own selfish reasons. We will, I will say one thing here today to you, but when I go back to my family behind closed doors, in as much as I was preaching peace out there, I was preaching love, I was preaching development. When it comes to my family, it's the complete opposite. I am abusive to my wife and kids. I am very mean to them. I do not even give them money to buy basic things. There's no peace at home. But out there, when I'm in front of the cameras, I'm looking all flashy and dapper, and I am preaching all these nice things. But my heart is totally different. There's no congruence when it comes to the persona that I display to people out there and the persona that is back at home. So that is an integrity issue right there. There's a character issue right there, because I am not the same person that you see out there. And for you to be an effective leader, for you to be a leader that people can trust, you have to have character. You have to have integrity. And with integrity, then you can be assured that no matter the circumstances that you face, no matter the temptations that come across, you will still be steadfast in your beliefs. You will not be shaken. When it comes to someone offers you money to do things that are against your values, you will say no. Yes, this money is good. It will set me up and my family for generations to come. But if I take this money, my people will languish in poverty for the next 100 years. So you say no to that and you do what it is that you're supposed to do. So that is integrity. And I think it's an integral part when it comes to leadership. And it's something that I'd say as Africans, and let me just point a finger at our leaders, they lack. And that's why we are facing some of the issues that we are facing as a people. And once you have that integrity, as I said, then people will be able to trust you. And once they trust you, they will just follow you. People will follow you. People follow people that they trust. So you need to work on your integrity. You need to work on your trust. And another way of keeping that trust is, of course, making sure that you keep your word. If I say that I'm going to do something, let me do it. Be realistic in your commitments. Do not overpromise and underdeliver, because, of course, then that will affect the trust that people have in you. Next time, they will not trust you. So just make realistic commitments and do just do everything that you can in your power to make sure that you keep those commitments. Yeah. And then lastly is a bias for action. Because I think we tend to talk a lot, and that is the temptation that we are always faced with. We tend we are it's like we are always in need of just promising things and telling people what we think they need to hear. And we, more often than not, we do not sit back and assess these promises that we are making to these people. Are they realistic? Are these promises that we can actually be able to keep? But in the heat of the moment, we will just say things. In the heat of the moment, a man will tell a lady whatever it is that she wants to hear. I will buy you this kind of car, I will build you a house, I will take you to the moon and back, all those things. And for whatever reason, the lady will just be swept off her feet and she will say yes to everything. But then a few weeks down the line, a few months down the line, a few years down the line, those promises are not kept. And of course, this affects the relationship, it affects the trust, and you start having cracks within that relationship. You start having issues. So now you cannot even trust whatever this person is telling you because you have had this before. They have promised you these things before, but they have not done what it is that they have promised for most of the time because they were just concerned about impressing you with the words. They did not sit back, they did not think about actually fulfilling those promises that you are making, that they were making to you. So for you to be an effective leader, you have to have that bias for action. You have to have that bias for action. Less talk, more action. In fact, you'd rather even not talk, you'd rather even not announce anything, you'd rather even not make promises, but let just your work speak for itself. Let people see things move. Let people see you build stuff. Let people see you deliver. So let your actions speak for yourself. And again, actions speak louder than words. So let your actions actually talk. Yeah. I think in our country, we hear a lot about politicians saying that the economy is doing well, the economy is doing wonderfully. Yet when you come to the ground, people are complaining. They're saying there's no money, there are no jobs, the prices are going up every other day, prices of basic commodities. So the leaders at the top are saying this thing, this one thing, but when you come to the ground, things are totally different. And one person said, they put it really well. They said, when the economy is doing well, you as the leader won't even have to come and tell people. The people themselves will feel it and they will come and tell you, by the way, things are going well. We can feel it. We have money in our pockets. Prices are going down. Things, basic commodities are quite affordable right now, and life is generally good. You don't have to come and tell people. They will come and tell you because they can feel it. So, action. Let us have a bias for action. For us to be effective leaders, we need to have that bias for action and delivery. Again, going back to that definition that I started off this talk with, leadership is getting results in a way that inspires trust. So get the results, people will trust you, they will follow you, they will believe in your vision. Yes. Big Chief.
Yeah, good day, sir. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Actually, just confirming that we are still on. I don't know whether we have any
No, there is no comment at the moment. I'm monitoring the stuff. There's no comment yet.
These, or they're not okay. Not even questions. Nothing.
No, no question for now, though.
Okay. Okay.
Even yesterday, it was after the event. They were sending me question. I had to redirect them to the speaker.
Okay. So probably we can actually. I know it's an annual thing, but maybe when you put those questions together, we can have a session where all the speakers are there and they can sort of like answer the questions that were posed to them during the or after the events, um, as opposed to just waiting for another event next year. So I don't know. Anyway, it's something that maybe you guys can think about. But yeah, I think I had just planned to have a very very short session myself. I didn't want to bore people with too much. Um, I know it's late, so I just planned a very short speech or presentation, and I was really hoping to for it to be an interactive session where people are asking questions and then we can interact from there on. But if that is not possible, then I think for me, I can wrap it up there.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. I sincerely appreciate it. The 30 minutes as well was is enough. At least I had my notes jotted down. I believe others actually did. I don't know how people here somehow sometimes are funny. They usually do opposite of instructions. Like for instance, okay, share your notes in the group, and people with the highest notes will be rewarded. And they were sending it to my DM instead of the group. Sometimes people want to do something, but they don't want others to see them doing that stuff. I just don't know why. So that's just it. After the event yesterday, they were sending me questions. And I was like, okay, I just actually direct them to the speaker. Unfortunately, the speaker had another session after our session. So I don't know how it was sorted out. But yeah, I do believe the replay will be available publicly for those that as well want to catch up and might also have questions later on as well.
But I actually liked the one that you did on day one, where instead of using the forum, the StreamYard, the one that we used Teams. Okay, I know Teams maybe is not as effective as StreamYard, but I liked Teams because Teams guys were just writing comments and the speaker was able to interact with the audience one on one, and he could actually see everyone that was logged in. He could call them out by name. They would ask questions, they would unmute themselves and ask questions. I actually found that to be quite interactive. I really did enjoy that first event. I wasn't able to attend the one for yesterday, but the first day I enjoyed that interactive session. I won't lie.
Yeah, thank you very much. We will take note of everything and make changes and improvement in any of our next sessions.
Yeah, and currently you guys are doing online events. Are you planning to do a live event?
Our next move is to have what's it called? Our next move is to actually have a flagship program that is properly tailored to the needs of almost everyone that is willing to grow, which is our flagship program. We have sorted out the models, but the thing is, working with Nigerian. Oh, I don't want to mention Nigerians in general, but the majority of people I've actually worked with is that people tend to, like like you mentioned, you say we need to have bias for action if we want to be an effective leader. We need to have more of action than just speech. So people tend to like create content, portray a certain image, but when you tend to do business with them, it is a total opposite of what they portray to the public. So people tend to speak about collaborations, this and that, but when you approach them, it's totally opposite of what they've been preaching about. So with experiences, I'm trying to take cautious steps, and I'm as well trying to ensure that there is enough funds to make sure that we can cast our nets wide, right? So when someone is trying to delay us or trying to game us, we can go for contingency plans. So that's the issue right now. That's the issue right now. But yeah, our flagship program is going to be paid because time and time again, it has been proven that people tend to pay action when they pay more. So that's one of the issues. One of the issues, and we hopefully we on one of our targets is also to have speakers from East Africa. We've been scouting for speakers, been scouting for individuals that we know we tend to feel like okay they are aligned with our vision. So that's one of the things that we are working on at the backstage.
Ah, okay. That sounds nice, and I think you guys are onto something big. So do not be discouraged by maybe you know the fact that the reception isn't as huge right now. I think big things start small. So just be encouraged. The consistency is good. The fact that you've done it 2 years in a row. So keep going. And personally, I would love to attend that live event one of these days. If you actually do a live event, I'd be glad to come and visit you guys there in Nigeria. I've actually never been there before, so I wouldn't mind just coming and interacting with my Oga people there one on one and you guys. And this thing, trust you me, 5, 10 years from now, like we've said, think long term. And this vision that you have, I'm sure people are buying into it. And 5, 10 years from now, even 50 years from now, even when you're gone, this movement that you're starting, Better Side Leadership Institute, it will be there and it will be bigger. And that is the vision, to just build something that is bigger than you and that outlives you. And I believe you guys will actually get there. So just keep going. Do not let anything stop you. Transforming youth leadership, that is a very, very huge vision. It's a big vision that I'm sure a lot of people will be able to come on board. So you actually just reached out to me, and I was like, this is something that I'm I'm interested in, because youth leadership in Africa, this is something that we need desperately. So yeah, all the best to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just like you said, a vision has to be bigger than you, even when the vision bearer is no longer there. When I looked at the game plan in the vision for Better Side, I was like, it's too big for me to personalize it because when you look at other platforms that tend to run leadership programs in Africa, or let me use Nigeria for example, where I'm actually based and where I have enough connections with people in this tech space. One thing I notice is that most of the people that are creating leadership platforms infuses their name into it. For instance, I could have just said Nemeka Leadership Institute, Nemeka this, Nemeka, I could have just infused my name into it. But when I looked at it, I was like, this is not just me trying to have personal branding. This is me understanding that what we are doing is bigger than me. What we are doing, the
Yeah,
vision is something that is going to outlive me. So I had to like it's not easy. It's not easy to pull yourself out of something that you are doing, something that you know like this is going to be very big. And you want people to know you like, yes, I'm the brain behind it. You want to, get the flowers, you want to get the credits. But I have to, like there's no way for me to do that. Let me just put myself out. I know that once I get the branding and I put everything out there, there will be no need for me to go back and say I want to change it, the name to my own. So I had to just struggle and say quickly do the branding and let everything be out in public. So that's just it. It's not easy, but we have to make that sacrifice.
yeah, we have to. And we have to, like for example, um, our forefathers, the sacrifice that they made for us to enjoy the freedoms that we are enjoying right now, they made those sacrifices knowing very well they may not be here to enjoy the fruits of their labor, but they did it anyway. So even for us, we have to do that. We have to make those sacrifices, not for ourselves, but for the future of that African kid that is not even born yet. So we have to do it for them. And that's why I'm saying it has to be bigger than us, and it has to be something that outlives us, because we are thinking about those kids that will come after us, which is, I think, what you guys are doing. You're not thinking about yourselves, you're thinking about the kids that will come after the kids that you have. So that is transformational in my view. Yeah, exactly. We have to make sacrifices for we have to make sacrifices bigger than us for the next generations to come. Yes. The sacrifices that we are making right now, we will not enjoy the fruits of that labor. It is the kids of our kids who will enjoy that. And the mistakes that we make right now, the kids of our kids are the ones who are going to pay for that. For example, I don't know if you know about us here in Kenya, we have amassed this huge public debt, and it is burdening Kenyans heavily. If you, our budget was just, I think we are in the process of making our budget right now, and I think 1 point something trillion Kenya shillings out of our budget of 4 trillion Kenya shillings is going towards repaying debt. And right now, when a kid is born in Kenya, they're already they are, as in they're already born into debt. They have like 100,000 shillings. They're already 100,000 shilling in debt or something thereabout, and we're just paying for the mistakes that some leaders made 10, 20 years ago. Those are the mistakes that we're paying for right now, and if we're not careful, those mistakes, we will just keep compounding them, and our kids and their kids will just have to pay for that. Well, kids in China are just enjoying the fruits of the labor that their leaders in the 70s and 80s and 90s decided, okay, enough is enough, we just have to do things differently. So I think it's upon us as this youthful generation in Africa to just say we have to do it for those kids, for the generations that will come after us. And I really do admire how Asians and other cultures do it. They don't do it for themselves. They do it for the future generations. For us Africans, we have this myopic view. It's just me and me right now. You don't care about um anything else or anyone else or the tomorrow or the future. It's as long as we are good right now, we can destroy the environment, we can steal as much money as we can, from we don't care. We won't be here 50 years from now to suffer the consequences, and I think that is a, it's a sad kind of, yeah, if you really think about it, it's really sad, but we need to have that mindset shift. And yeah, and thanks to now initiatives like Better Side, I'm sure we are going to get there slowly but surely. We are going to get there. You have actually encouraged me to possibly start something similar here in Kenya, and I hope when I do, we will, you know, we will borrow heavily from what you guys are doing, because already you guys have started. You have that head start, and we can maybe invite you guys to come and help us out as we also try and transform the youthful population here.
Yeah, thank you very much. The thing is, I actually do try my best outside of the busy work schedules and studying. I do try my best to follow up with politics in other part of Africa, both Uganda of Museveni. I follow William Ruto in Kenya. I follow Malema EFF movement in South Africa and their issue with drug dealing and trying to make eradications, the white and what's it called, the white native white issue on the land repatriation issues, the Kid d'Ivoire, Kid d'Ivoire, all those movements. I do try my best to follow up, even in the francophone regions like that of Niger that is close to us. We have Guinea-Bissau, we have Guinea-Conakry, and those areas that have already had a issue with military coup, like Mali. I try to follow up, and the beautiful thing is that we actually have leadership programs in most of the countries. It's just that some countries have it more than the other, right? Even Nigeria itself, I don't even really like know that we had a lot of leadership movements like this better side until I was aware we have leadership movement, but I didn't know that it was that much until when I started like making research for this better side, and I began to see a lot of platforms. Like there are numerous platforms that focuses on male activities, how to help boys become effective male. We have programs for women. We have even the ones that are heavily sponsored by government. We have the ones that are just private sponsorship from companies like that. But the amazing thing is we having programs, and I believe that they are not they would stick to the vision and not get hijacked by outsiders, who are just trying to find a way to manipulate things for Africans. At the end of the day, the most important thing is I've also been a beneficiaries of some of these programs. My consulting firm that I started was because I attended a free program that was hosted by a church in Abuja. I had to travel down there, even when I was with zero cash. I didn't even know what came over me there, and I just took that risk and I went there. And till today, it has been beneficial for me. And we have people. And one thing I love about East African, which I've always been vocal about, is the language structure. I don't know. It seems like there's an ease of language there and mobility. That is movement. Someone from Kenya can easily move to. Okay, someone is asking a question. What if you really want to do what you promise, and along the way you didn't later get the resources to deliver? What do you do? Are you seeing the question?
Oh yeah. What if you really want to do what you promised, and along the way you didn't later get the resources to deliver? What do you do? I I hear you. Like you had the intention was there. You really, really had the intention to deliver what it is that you are promising people, and in your heart, deep down, you felt that it was possible to deliver that, but maybe for one reason or another, circumstances that maybe could not be avoided, you are not able to deliver. I think the first thing you need to be honest with your people. Just come out clean and tell them what it is and what the situation is. That this is exactly what we had planned. This was the vision. This was the roadmap. But for things or situations or factors that were beyond our control, we are not able to get there. So I think honesty and just being honest with people, because I think people are also very, very rational, and they're also very understanding, especially when you're forthright with them with the truth. They will understand that sometimes things happen and there's nothing that you can do. But again, I think also you have to have that ability to see beyond, and to sort of like anticipate some of these issues, such that you have provisions for such unfortunate instances where you're not able to deliver on your promises. So you don't over deliver. You just deliver within reason. You deliver. You promise within reason. You promise things that, even in the worst case scenario, you will be able to deliver. And my philosophy has always been, you'd rather under promise and over deliver than over promise and under deliver. So yeah, it's a tricky balance, but yeah, you have to be forthright with people. Just let them know exactly what's happening. And again, it can't be a recurrent thing where you're promising and then you don't deliver, and then you come and give people excuses. And then, yes, maybe they will understand that one time, but then the following time you come and say, okay, by this other time, we are not also not able to deliver. So it now becomes sort of like a habit where you fail to deliver, and then you blame it on circumstances. And there's this thing, I think I also read it in that book, The Speed of Trust by Stephen M. Covey, where the author says that it's either you get results or you give excuses. There's there's no two way about it. There's no gray area. It's either you get the results or you give excuses. And when you give excuses one too many times, then it affects the trust that people have in you. So even next time when you come and tell people, we are not able to deliver because of something, then they will definitely not trust you. But let's say when you have been consistently delivering to people, when you have been telling them this is what I'll do, and then you keep those promises consistently, you have a track record. Even that one time that you're not able to deliver, people will understand because you have already bought yourself. Your reputation is there. It's like, I don't know whether you guys have. It's like the reward points that you get when you go to shop at the supermarket. I don't know whether you guys have that in Nigeria, but in Kenya we have that, especially with the big supermarkets. So when you buy things, when you go and shop at the supermarket, you're able to get points, reward points, and then you can redeem those points later for stuff at the supermarket. So when you're delivering to people, you're sort of like stacking up your reward points, and then one day, even when you don't have money, you can go and redeem those points at the supermarket. Another good example I like giving people is, if you're a good employee, let's say you're employed, if you're a good employee, diligent employee, you're always on time, you always do your assignments on time, you deliver when the boss asks for a report, you submit it promptly, it's well done, you're never late, you never give excuses, you always deliver. Even the day that you ask for a day off, the manager will not refuse. Gladly, they will give it to you. But if you're the kind of employee who's always late, you never, you're never on time when it comes to submitting your projects or your assignments, then when you call your manager and say, I'd like to take a day off tomorrow, then they'll be like, no, I cannot allow you to do that because you have so many things that are pending. So I think for leadership, it's the same way. You have to have that track record, and then that track record gives you that runway on which you can keep going, even on days that, let's say, things don't work in your favor. And even on such days, you just have to be forthright and just come out clean, tell people the truth. This is what we had planned, but for one reason or another, we were not able to deliver on it. And of course, people will understand. And I really hope I've answered that question. I don't know, but it was a good question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's almost an hour, like 5 minutes to an hour now. So thank you very much. If there are any other questions, I will direct them. So for now, we would start working on our flagship program, and when it's time to send an invite, I will let you know. I will start. For me, I do not want to like kickstart the flagship program without enough funds, and Nigerians charge a lot. They charge a lot. So I want to be like, okay, the flagship program, even if we won't have the funding, we'll have the capacity to generate the funding during the sales and marketing process. So that is the crossroad where we're at right now. But so far so good. I've spoken to a lot of consultants. I've forwarded the module for the trainings to them. One thing I know with Nigerians is that when you forward modules like that, they try to go and replicate it on their own and go and work on it behind you with no shame. But I'm not bothered because the thing is, there's one quote Nigerians used to say. They will say you can copy, but you can't copy the anointing. So the way I envision is this sense. Yeah, you can copy, but you can't copy the anointing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the way I envision the whole thing is different, and the end goals are different. For now, one thing I've learned from 48 Laws of Power is that you don't reveal your trump card too early. Sure, you understand, but so for now, yeah, this is our surface level, and I'm someone that get distracted a lot because I'm a multi potentialite, but I intend to run this particular flagship program for the next 5 years, and we are looking at three cohorts or three or four cohorts per year. For next year, we don't want to move too much because I'm a trained business developer, right? I work with startups, so I know mistakes that a lot of business owners make that gets their business to fall. So if I'm a business developer and I've been trained and I've seen different mistakes like that, I think I should also not repeat those mistakes in my own journey. So for next year, we might not host a physical event. Yeah, even if there is cash for it, if we are able to generate the revenue for it, I would not want to do that. I want us to take that next year and solidify our ground, get established. Then probably next 2 years, probably which will be 2027, we would have a physical event, and hopefully, I expect to see people from East Africa in Nigeria. And another thing about me is I love to do things with maximum excellence. So if I'm bringing people from East Africa or South Africa, I would not just want to host them in a shabby hotel. I love to do my things top notch. You see, I do things with depth. Let's say I have 5 million naira to do something, and what I intend to do is 10 million naira. As long as it will get me the best result, that excellence. I don't mind going into depth. Then one thing with me is that I always have my credit records. Okay, so even if I go into debt, I can always like pay it back. That has always been my record. And the thing is, most people don't know. They feel like they make how you have money. I'll be like, in my mind, I was just like, you guys don't know I had to like go out of the way to do this stuff. I spoke with some of my clients, like, I need to get money from you people to host this event. Just give me part of our contract fee. And some of them sent the whole money. And I'm like, why did you send everything? They said, well, you need the money. And I sent everything. But I didn't ask you for everything. They'll be like, just like what you said, building trust. Because they know that even if you've paid me upfront, and you text me, I will always respond to your message. I respond to, because I'm not the kind of person that when you pay, once you've paid, then you will not start chasing me. No. Whether you've paid fully or you've paid part of the fee, you can always reach me anytime. Even when our contract has ended and you still need help on sideways, I do offer those help. There are people that once your contract is over and you ask them for help, they will send you an invoice. But for me, I believe in building a relationship, and it has always served me, even though when people feel like I'm being stupid or foolish. It has always served me. So I don't think we would have a physical conference next year, and if we do, it will be short programs in campuses that people will just self-host on their own with approval from us. That will just be it. Maybe like different tertiary institutions, we can have campus programs. But for the main conferences, I think that will be 2027. That's just it. Yeah, thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate.
I also appreciate you having me on. And I hope to be part of your future plans. You guys, again, like I said, I believe 100% in what you have going on here. So I really do hope that you will you'll extend an invitation to me for your workshop 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 7, 8, 9, 10. upwards. So all the best to you guys, and it was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate. I will be handing this right now.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Okay.